In the very heart of a small garden, drenched in emerald green, stood a charming little house, surrounded by lush plants and fragrant flowers. Sunlight danced on the colorful petals of the roses, creating picturesque patterns, while delicate aromas filled the air, bestowing the place with a special magic and coziness. In this fairy tale corner lived a cat named Rosie. Her name was not just a beautiful sound, but also a reflection of her unique nature. Rosie's soft fur shimmered with gentle pink hues, reminiscent of fresh petals of a morning tea rose, and her eyes, sparkling like two precious emeralds, radiated kindness, warmth, and endless tenderness. Life in this home flowed steadily and peacefully, like a leisurely stream where boats drifted smoothly from serene days. Every morning began with Rosie's soft purring as she gently nudged Anna's legs, demanding her share of affection and attention. During the day, Rosie, like a sprightly sunbeam, roamed the garden, chased butterflies, and played hide-and-seek with Lily, expertly hiding behind the thick rose bushes. In the evening, curled up at Michael's feet, she enjoyed the tranquility and warmth of the family hearth. Anna, like a devoted gardener, cared for Rosie with special attention, selecting the best food, vitamins, and toys for her. She meticulously monitored Rosie's health and always promptly consulted Mark, their family veterinarian, a kind and empathetic man who loved animals as much as they did. Everything seemed perfect. The house was filled with happiness and harmony, as if fate itself was guarding the family against any misfortunes. But, as often happens in life, even in the most paradisiacal garden, a shadow can hide, foretelling an impending storm. The first signs of trouble appeared suddenly, like thunder on a clear day. Rosie, always energetic and cheerful, suddenly became lethargic and apathetic. She refused to eat, her playfulness vanished, and her purring became quiet and weak, like a wilting flower. Previously, she had been like a little hurricane, running around the house and making everyone smile, but now she preferred to lie in her favorite armchair, ignoring Lily's games. Anna's heart clenched with worry, as if a sad melody had suddenly played within it. She immediately called Mark, the veterinarian, who was always ready to help their family and her pets. Mark arrived quickly, his gaze full of compassion and concern. He examined Rosie with special care and, shaking his head, delivered the grim news. Rosie has a serious illness, possibly a viral infection. Her condition is critical, but we will fight. Mark's words sounded like a verdict, and a heavy silence hung in the air. Anna's eyes filled with tears. She understood that a tough and exhausting battle for their beloved Rosie's life had begun. From that day on, life in the house changed fundamentally. Each day turned into a new battle, with the family doing everything possible to save Rosie. Anna and Michael took turns staying by her side, administering her medications, monitoring every breath she took, and showing endless care. They put all their affairs aside to be with Rosie, not leaving her even for a minute. Lily, feeling the weight of the situation, stopped smiling. Her cheerful laughter faded, and sadness settled in her eyes. She often approached Rosie, gently stroking her soft fur and whispering comforting words. "Please get better, Rosie. You have to stay with us," as if trying to convince fate itself that the world without Rosie would be unbearable. Mark, like a valiant knight, fought for Rosie's life with courage and dedication. Every day he came, conducted thorough examinations, adjusted treatments, and sought new methods of care. Medications, injections, painful procedures, all aimed at giving Rosie the slightest chance of recovery. However, the illness, like a treacherous and relentless enemy, did not relent. Rosie grew weaker. Her eyes lost their sparkle, her fur dulled, and her breathing became increasingly labored. Days dragged on slowly, like endless hours of waiting. They were filled with anxiety, despair, and a tiny hope that with each passing minute melted away like snow under the spring sun. The house was enveloped in a heavy and oppressive atmosphere, broken only by quiet sighs, occasional sobs, and Rosie's restless meowing, as if pleading for help. Lily tried to lift Rosie's spirits by drawing bright pictures of flowers, butterflies, and sunshine, hoping it would restore her strength and joy. But Rosie, as if immersed in a deep and hopeless sleep, did not respond to the world around her. Anna and Michael could not stand aside. They delved into studying medical articles about cat illnesses, sought new treatment methods, and were ready to do anything to bring Rosie back to life, to restore her joy and playfulness. They even reached out to other veterinarians, seeking advice and assistance. But unfortunately, all their efforts proved futile. The illness was stronger. One night, Rosie became extremely weak. Her breathing was barely audible. She stopped eating and drinking. Her movements slowed, and her eyes seemed sad and dimmed. Anna, Michael, and Lily gathered around her, wanting to surround her with their love and warmth. They gently took her tiny paws in their hands and softly stroked her soft fur, as if trying to convey all their love and care. They spoke soothing words to her, reminiscing about the happy moments spent together, as if trying to stop time and prolong those moments filled with joy and happiness. Suddenly, sobbing, Lily whispered, "Rosie, you're not leaving us, are you? You're staying with us, right? We love you so much." Her words were full of pain and hope, a child's faith in a miracle. But Rosie, as if hearing her plea, slowly closed her eyes. Her breathing ceased. Silence descended. A silence that was deafening, more painful than any scream, became a symbol of loss and deep sorrow. Tears streamed down Anna, Michael, and Lily's cheeks. They couldn't believe that Rosie was no longer with them. Their beloved cat, a faithful friend and part of the family, had left this world, leaving behind only unending pain, irreplaceable loss, and a vast emptiness that nothing could fill. Weeks passed, but the pain of losing Rosie did not ease. The house was filled with reminders of her favorite armchair, toys, bowl, even the scent of roses in the garden now seemed different. Lily couldn't come to terms with Rosie's absence for a long time. She stopped playing, avoided her favorite corner in the garden where they used to spend time together. She drew Rosie in all her pictures, wrote about her in her diary, as if trying to keep her image in her memory, to bring her back at least on paper. Anna and Michael tried to support Lily, explaining that Rosie would always live in their hearts, that they would always remember her love, tenderness, purring, and affectionate gaze. They understood that losing Rosie was not just the loss of a pet, but also the loss of a part of their lives, a part of their souls, a part of their family. Over time, the pain began to dull but never fully disappeared. A gentle sadness settled in their hearts, mixed with gratitude for the happy moments spent together with Rosie. They learned to live with the memories of her, preserving them in their hearts like a precious relic. They realized that the love they felt for Rosie would never die, even if she was no longer beside them. Her memory became the most valuable thing they had left, and that memory would live on forever. And although Rosie was no longer with them, they knew she would always be near, in their thoughts, memories, and love. Every time they watched the sunset, they remembered her, the little cat with pink fur and emerald-colored eyes who taught them so much about love, life, loss, and that the dearest beings to our hearts always remain with us, in our hearts and memories. She taught them to cherish every moment, every breath, every smile, and every spark of love that fills their lives. Rosie left them a legacy of love that would warm their hearts and illuminate their life's path until the end of their days. And in the silence of the night, when everyone slept, they often remembered her and heard her gentle purring in their hearts, as a reminder that love is eternal and will never fade.